Welcome to AMS Talks. I'm your special guest host, Nadia Abboud, and today I have the pleasure of sitting down with Rick Bacon, CEO of AMS. Rick, it is always great to catch up with you, especially as we look ahead to WEFTEC 2025 in Chicago. Thank you for joining me today.
It's a pleasure, and it's great to think that this is our 15th WEFTEC, so hopefully we're going to get it right this year.
Well, I have confidence in you and the AMS team to do so. Well, when you and I last sat down to talk, that was right before ACE, and AMS had just launched the SafeGuard H2O ferrate on-site regeneration system. So, for our viewers who are unfamiliar with ferrate, it is a powerful oxidizer. It's stronger than ozone, twice as strong as chlorine, doesn't have harmful byproducts. So, Rick, could you just remind us why this is so significant for the global water industry?
So the fact that it is far more powerful than chlorine and ozone and other oxidants means that it can do much more effectively and faster what those other chemicals can do. And there's big advantages for that. But not only that, it can actually treat contaminants that those oxidants cannot treat. So those are two big wins. And the third win is that the ferrate converts in its treatment process to a coagulant, and it is therefore quite capable of displacing ferric chloride, which is the go-to bulk chemistry that many places use, and it does that far more effectively than ferric chloride. So it's a two for one.
Super powerful. So, where have you been focusing efforts since we last spoke and sort of with this innovative solution?
So the chemistry of ferrate has been very well researched and is well understood. Lots of people in the industry have tried to work with it. The problem has been that they haven't been able to have access to it because of its short shelf life, and you need to make it on site, which is what we've mastered. So we haven't been doing original research into ferric chemistry. What we've been looking to do is develop applications of it in particular water treatment situations. And that's all about, where do you introduce it into the treatment system? How much do you dose? How frequently do you dose? And then validating the results. And, all of that takes time. But we've been tackling some of the most obvious challenging areas where ferrate has been identified as being far superior to what already exists in the market.
Now, so you said something interesting there. You've been tackling, but one of the things I found really exciting when we sat down last was that you're now offering ferrate in a frozen form. So you've put these test kits together of frozen ferrate that allow researchers, engineers, operators to test the reagent in these applications, either at bench scale or at full scale. So you not only master on-site generation of ferrate, but now you're thinking of how to get it to people without them having to necessarily purchase your SafeGuard H2O system to generate in like on-site for their testing. That is so cool. I'm still like, I'm not just, I just, it's so cool. So how do you see that sort of fostering collaboration and building up the market for the applications of ferrate?
So, yeah, the challenge for any innovation is getting to market quickly. Time to market is critical. And to be very honest, we don't have the resources, AMS that is, to develop all these applications, and they have global applications in multiple sectors, multiple contaminants. But there are a lot of people out there that have the resources to evaluate it. So the the huge advantage of this innovation in terms of being able to deliver it in a frozen form is that we can ship it to anywhere in the world, as long as it stays within a cold chain, and then allow those people who've already identified its particular application to do what I said earlier, develop the application, where to dose, how much to dose, how frequently, and so on. And it's essentially making this chemistry available to anybody, just as happened with chlorine or ferric chloride or ozone. It wasn't the manufacturers who developed the applications, it was people who had a problem who then applied the technology to their situation.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Sort of that knowledge is power, and it just sort of like takes collaboration to make this all happen. Well,
Yeah.
before we wrap up today, what can attendees at WEFTEC expect to see and learn from AMS this year?
Well, obviously, ferrate is front and center, but as you know, we consider ourselves a Swiss Army knife of water treatment. So we will also be presenting a new analyzer technology for ammonia and nitrate that's gaining a very strong foothold here in the US. The BIOBOX biological denitrification system for nitrate removal. Our flagship analyzer product, the online THM analyzer, which is now being applied in waste treatment environments where discharge of THM is now increasingly controlled, particularly on desalination, that type of thing. And we've got our first on-site generation technology, Stannis, which has very interesting applications in terms of produced water recovery and elimination of sulfur reducing bacteria. So a broad spectrum of water treatment technologies, analytical technologies, which we integrate together to produce a very highly automated, effective treatment solutions tackling multiple problems.
So a breadth of transformative solutions, right, Rick?
There we go.
Well,
That's
yeah,
what we're about.
that's what you're all about. Well, thank you so much for your insights today. And for any of our viewers who will be attending WEFTEC, be sure to stop by booth 6216 to learn about SafeGuard H2O, the frozen ferrate test kits, the other transformative solutions AMS has. You can meet with Rick and connect with him or any of the other AMS team members. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. And hope to see you there too.
All right, take care.